Hello, everybody. It's Barb Owen, and it's Drama Free Friday again. Yes, it is. And welcome, welcome. I'm a bit breathless at the moment, because truthfully, I've just been like a crazy person this morning. But what's new? So how are you guys today? That's what I want to know. Let me know how you are. Got a good audience showing up here. Hi, Sarah. It's good to have you guys here in my studio with me. Thank you for joining me today. It is a really beautiful, it's time for the weather report, let's be honest. We do this every week. I don't know why. I truly don't know why. But it's been a beautiful week here. We've had some rain, but it's absolutely gorgeous today. Absolutely stunningly beautiful. Like the kind of weather you can have your windows open. Beautiful. It's lovely. Ruth's fine as frog hair. Victor's fine. Hey, Zandra. Hi, Jess. No, Jess, I'm not painting that damn ugly woman. She's still ugly. She gonna be ugly the rest of her life, and she gonna be naked too. No, Jess, no. Yeah, so it's been an exciting week. We have a new internet connection, so we shall see how this one works. Hopefully it's better than the other one, because the other one was just not holding up. I could not make her beautiful, Jess. I could not. You're lying. Ugly with a capital U-G-L-Y. Ugly. I couldn't even do her. I couldn't even do her on live streaming. They'd boot me off. Hi, Pavla. Nice to see you, my friend. We got people from all over the world checking in. It's so much fun that you can be sitting. I can sit here in my studio and have the entire world come join me. That is just such a kick. It's such a kick. I love it. Who else am I missing? Hey, Carol. I'm just chatting here for a minute, letting everybody come in and get a chair, get a seat, get something to drink if you want it. The mini bar, I don't know who's in charge of the mini bar. Somebody might be. If it is, go get whatever you need. Hi, Kasha. Oh, hey, Jean. Nice to see you. No, I'm not getting ready to paint that ugly woman, Jess. Give me a break. Okay, what time is it? 1:06. We should get cracking. I can't do it, Jess. I can't. Hi, Sandy Jones. Yeah, Sandy Jones is going to the corner. She's going to have a double. I've never had... Ruth's eaten egg foo young. I've never had egg foo young. It's probably crime to admit that, huh? Yeah, well, this isn't anything fancy, Sarah. Let me tell you. This is nothing fancy. This is an art journal. Then we're going to see. I have over half the signatures stitched into it. I was trying to get them all stitched in, which is part of the reason I was a little bit harried, because I was trying to, get them all stitched in. Couldn't do it. So I may stitch in a couple more signatures for you guys, and we're going to decorate the cover, and then we may start putting stuff into it. So there you go. All right. Good group here today. Thanks, everybody, for coming and joining me on Drama Free Friday. Why is it drama free, you might ask, right? Just because there's too much drama out there in the world. We are all subject to plenty of drama during the week, and there's plenty of stuff happening out there, and we just need to just take a break. Sometimes you just need to take a break and go. Hopefully that's what you get to do here. Because that's my intention, to give you a place to come for a couple of hours where you can just, breathe. Hi, Lori. Hi, Melvina. I hope I'm saying your name right, Melvina. And Lynn's here. Got a great group. Hey, Jan. So anyway, okay. That's right. Jess has got it. Okay, let me put my illegal cup somewhere else. We all know what that means by the illegal cup, right? The legal one's right there. Illegal, legal. Okay, let me get rid of my illegal cup. You can probably hear the birds singing. I've got the windows open, so you can probably hear the birds singing, which I love to hear, as long as they're not. Sometimes those mourning doves do. I have to admit, sometimes the mourning doves get on my nerves. They're a little too something. Okay, so I got a tweet this week from Caroline Hofstedt, and I don't know if she's here. That's right, Melvina. Okay, cool. And also, because this is a live chat, those of you that are here, or a live broadcast, those of you that are here, if you'll type in caps, that will get my attention. If you have a question or comment, that would be great. So Caroline Hofstedt, and I hope I'm saying her name correctly. It's either Caroline or Carolyn. I'm not sure. I'm going to call her Caroline. Did he tell me? Look, he says no liquids. I saw that. He didn't put it in caps, though, did he? Technical department is on vacation. He's not even supposed to be watching. He's supposed to be in a meeting. Well, he's on a working vacation. Anyway, I digress. Carolyn Hofstead tweeted this picture to me after what we did the last couple of weeks, or we did last week. Can't even get my own thoughts straight. This is what we did last week. So I have a couple of examples here that we did, using pockets and so forth, and recycling brown paper. All of a sudden I want to break into brown paper packages tied up with string. Brown paper bags, from various places. And so that was what I used for the pages. And so Caroline sent me what she did that was inspired by what I showed, which was really nice. Yeah. Technical department's giving me a hard time. Those of you watching the chat or watching the recording. So this was what she did. She said this was inspired by what I did, which was really sweet of her to say that. She has the Tim Holtz. I'm going to give you a closer view. Hold on just a second. Rearrange my stuff just a minute. I'm going to give you a closer look because I want you to see what she did. So she used one of the Tim Holtz dies, the Tattered Florals, I believe, is what she's got going on there. And then it looks like she has a yo-yo in the middle and then a button for her cover. And then inside she's got, it looks to be like maybe drawing paper or mixed media paper or something that she's got in here. And like she's used pinking shears to go around the edges of her journal. And she used a couple of eyelets to support what appears to be a shoestring. So that's what she's got. That's what she's got going on. But isn't that cool? And there's her name, Caroline Hofstedt. So Caroline, if you watch the recording or if you happen to be here, thank you so much for sharing that. I know, it is awesome, isn't it? Sorry, I'm shaking it. I was holding it up in the air. Anyway, as the guy I used to work for would always say, anyways. So, yeah. Okay, so that is what she did. So anytime that you guys want to share something that you've done with me, all you need to do is take a picture, and most people have phones with pictures now, or phones with cameras in them. I'm telling you, I didn't have a lot of sleep last night. My body woke up too early this morning, and so I'm not sure that my brain and my mouth and my hands are all going to work together, but we're going to try. We're going to go for it. anytime you want to send pictures to me for something that I may have inspired you about, or a variation of something we did or something, I'd love to see them. And so you can tweet them to me at Barb Owen Designs. That would be perfect. And if you don't have Twitter, and you want to share them with me some other way, if you'll ask, there are other ways for you to get photos to me as well. Okay? So thank you. Thank you so much for sharing that. And Ruth, who's in the audience, shared some really cool pictures with me. She helped teach some teenagers how to do the locker hooking, and you'll find the locker hooking class. It's a sample video class on in my YouTube list, and it's how to do locker hooking or something along that line. I didn't look up the specific title. But anyway, there's a free video class on locker hooking, and so Ruth was showing some young girls at her church how to do it, and she sent me some pictures, which I didn't ask if I had permission to print those off and share them, since it was involving underage kids. It's like, got to be careful with that. So anyway, the things that the girls did were just so cute and so fun to watch, so fun to see them. You can see by the smiles on their faces that they were enjoying what they were doing. So that's really fun. So locker hooking is a really old needle art that anybody can do. Is it Chrissa? She's in Greece. Oh, good. 9:20 at night. Well, thanks for joining us. Is it Chrissa? Krista? I don't know. Somebody's going to have to help me. Anyway, welcome from Greece. We've got a truly international audience here today. All right. And anybody that I missed saying hello to, I'm so glad you're here. And consider yourself very welcomed, and I'm happy you're here. All right, so let me show you this art journal I've been working on. Actually, a lot of this week I've been cleaning behind door number 1 back here, where you know who lives. You guys know who lives back there, right? I'm sure you do. If you've been hanging around me any time at all, you know that the sponsors live behind door number 1. Chrissa. Okay, Chrissa, welcome. Thank you for correcting me. And Jess, that's not true. Jess, I'm thrilled that you're here. You know that. So I've been cleaning back here, as I said, behind door number 1. I'm ashamed to admit how filthy that room was. When you have animals that live someplace, they can make a mess, and it was a real mess. So I've kind of been, reorganizing and packing up stuff to get rid of and things like that. So anyway, so what I did, I decided in the process of digging through some stuff and getting some new inspiration, and I found a whole lot of stuff that I need to use up. I thought, I'm going to make a new art journal. So it's not like I don't have any art journals, but I wanted to make one up that was just what I wanted it to be, right? Hey, Sarah. Sarah's from Scotland. So far today we have Scotland, Greece, Ukraine, Czech Republic, UK, Canada, and the United States. And if I missed your country, stick it in the chat. And I'll say, Jess, keep on asking, girl. Keep on asking. That's all I have to say about that. Jess wants me to paint this horrible, ugly woman that Clausman carved, and she is too ugly for paint. And let me tell you, that's ugly. That is ugly. When you're too ugly for paint, you're ugly. Okay, so here is my new journal in process. I've got things tied up here. Jess says she's a real beaut. Yes, she is. Okay, so what this is made out of, this is fabric that came from the curtain department or the upholstery department from from Hobby Lobby. So I don't know. I think it's a curtain fabric. I think I might do that. I don't know. Clausman probably wouldn't let me send it away. He's kind of attached to that ugly thing. Why? I have no idea. No idea. She is too ugly for words. I'd go get her, but she's too far away. Okay, so what I did is I used another fabric on the underneath side by Race, and I would say to him that I loved him, but I don't want to embarrass him, so I won't say that, right? Yeah. So this is one upholstery fabric or curtain fabric, depending, and this is another one. Okay, so they're two different fabrics. I put them together and I stitched around the edge. It's very, very ravelly fabric, so I went back and I did a 3-step zigzag on my sewing machine, and this is big. It measures the paper, the pages are 8.5 inches by 11 inches this way. So it's a size of regular paper, right? Regular copy paper. And so what I did was I made the journal a little bit oversized so it would have some room at the top. And then when the signatures fold over, there is some room on the sides. All right, so it's pretty floppy fabric, right? It's pretty floppy. Hi, Di. Di says it's okay. She embarrasses her older son all the time. Well, that's good. That's good. I feel better now. It's okay to embarrass him, right? So what I did is I left the top part of this open initially, and inside here, in order to give it some body, I slipped a piece of quilter's template plastic in here. So the template plastic is a tiny bit smaller, so it made like a pocket, because I decided where the spine was going to be, and I ran a line of stitching down the spine. I don't know if you can, I'm sure you can't see it, but there's a line of stitching here, machine stitching. So it made like a pocket for the cover, and I slipped the template plastic in. I don't know if I went from the bottom or the top, and then stitched it closed. And then I did the same thing on the other side. Okay, so this has a piece of template plastic in it as well to kind of give it a little bit. It's still soft cover. Welcome, Mildred. Let's see who else just came in. Dee Dee. Hey, Dee Dee. Dee Dee did the most incredible portrait, I have to say. If you don't know about Dee Dee Willingham's portraiture, you need to follow her on Facebook and Ustream and Twitter and YouTube and wherever else so you can see her portraiture. She did the most amazing portrait of Prince. You know, I am telling you, she did a portrait of Race too. And she's done portraits of all kinds of other people, but she is captures the most incredible. She has this ability to capture the likeness of, it's not the likeness of someone. She captures the spirit of them on paper or painting or whatever medium she's using. She has this ability. I know I sound like a stalker, but Dee Dee Willingham, who is known as Inkwell or Inky Well, depending on where you are, she has this ability, this uncanny ability to capture the spirit, the essence of whether it's human or animal. It's incredible. Anyway, go check out her portrait of Prince and you'll see what I'm talking about. Okay, now back to not stalking. Let's quit stalking, Barb. Yeah, and Jean says her portraits have magic eyes. I know. And she did a portrait of Packer Dye, too. It's amazing. It's amazing. Okay, so back to what I did here. So I did the same thing. I slipped a piece of the plastic in here, so it's still a soft cover, but it's not as floppy as it would be just with plain old fabric. Well, the spine didn't have anything in it. I knew that I couldn't put plastic in there and hope to punch the holes through the plastic and keep everything lined up. So instead, what you see here is a plastic. I'll show you up here in a different shot. See if I can get this where you can see it. Okay, see this thing right here? This is the same quilter's template plastic. And so what I decided to do was and I know it's where you can hardly see it. But what I did was I used that, punched the holes through it, also punched the holes through the spine, and I decided to stitch through that just to see if it would work. So I'm stitching through that, and that's going to help support the spine. I have no idea if it's going to work. So far it seems to be working. I don't know. We'll see what happens. My paper that I'm using is mixed media paper. The Canson mixed media paper. I bought a pad. The word is a tablet or a pad or a pablet or a tab, whatever you want to call it. Anyway, it's a pad of 14 by 17 Canson mixed media. And so I cut it down so that it is 11 inches tall and left the length, which was 17. So then when I folded it in half, that made it 8.5 inches wide by 11 inches tall. So that's what I used. So that is what I used. And so I decided to do 11 signatures, and I have 6 of them stitched in. I will attempt to show you how I stitched these in. Now, it didn't look exactly the way I wanted it to look when I got finished, and because it was raveling. This kind of upholstery, curtainy kind of fabric ravels like crazy. And so I used some yarns, a couple of different yarns. You'll see them right here. Okay, so here are the yarns. There was this one, this multicolored twisted yarn right here. And then this other yarn that's kind of a variegated, they're all synthetic, but it's kind of variegated. It will have a long section of one color, then it'll change to another section of another color. And so I twisted them together, okay? That's what I did. Used my sewing machine, and I stitched them as I twisted. I just twisted and stitched and twisted and stitched all the way around. And then I stitched a whole big long cord, which is going to become the closure. And if I don't like the closure, I've used this closure before, and I like it because you just wrap it around a few times, and then I make a loop and just tie it together. But it's nice and long, so it allows me to have enough room so that as this expands, because it's going to get fat. Hey, Julie. Welcome. Yeah, 11 signatures. I know. I'm crazy. What can I say? But it has a 2-inch spine, and I'm using a 5-hole pamphlet stitch. So, would you guys like to see how to do a 5-hole pamphlet stitch? Similar to a 3-hole pamphlet stitch, but a little different. And every little bit I have to come in and give it a haircut, because it's still going to shed for a while. It'll get to a point where it will stop. But for now, it's going to shed. So if you'd like to see the 5-hole pamphlet stitch, I will attempt to demonstrate it for you. Jess's journal is getting pretty fluffy because it's almost full. That's great. Cool, Jess. All right. Sorry, I'm just looking. Oh, Jess has got snow. I'm reading the chat for a minute. Jess has got snow coming on. Crazy as a perk. Yeah. So let me stitch in a couple of these signatures, and then the reason I'm saying I'll try is because the thing is big, and I'm having to do a lot of flip-flopping it about So what I'm going to do is I'm going to attempt to explain to you as I go what I'm doing, because I know it's going to be very difficult for you to see. Okay, I'm putting that out there right up front. So I'm going to attempt to make it work. Okay, I had to get a drink here. All right, I'm stitching the signatures in from the back to the front. This is my front cover that I have my cord attached to, my closure cord. And in an effort to make this not drive me crazy, I'm going to wind it up like so. And see if I can capture it. I had it earlier, but then I undid my clip. And stuff it all under this clip. Like that. So I can control this. Otherwise, I don't mind the thread getting wound around this thing, but I hate it when it gets all tangled up with all that cord. Joe, for goodness sakes. Stars Art is Joe. Hey, Joe. And hi, Renata. Wow, Joe, how in the world are you? Haven't seen you in forever, my friend. It's great to have you here. So what I have is 3 pages per signature. Okay, so there's 3 pages of the Canson mixed media paper. I've already punched all the holes, so I have 5 holes in this signature. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 holes. I've marked the top so that I'm keeping all of my pages at the top, so that because based on my template where I punch the holes, in case there's any variation, I need to keep track of that. And then I've got some big old clips here, and I'm going to see if I can clip this in place. Let me get this up here where you can see it. See if I can clip it in place. I may have to adjust the clip here in a minute. I'm about to exceed what this clip will deal with, so we'll just clip it to a few pages like so. Okay? Sodite. All right, and I'm working with 2 needles. One to stitch with and one to help me. I know, it's a truth, Di. And by the way, just so you guys know, this is a big tease. We're hoping, with fingers crossed, that we will have a special guest next week, and she's in the audience, if all goes well. Okay? That's all I'm going to say about that. You'll have to come back next week to see who it is. Like I said, if everything goes well, and we may have more than one guest next week. That's a big fat hint. Okay, let's go back here. All right, 3 lengths of wax linen. The kind of wax linen that I am using it happens to be purple. I know it probably looks black on screen. But the kind of wax linen I'm using comes from Crawford Threads Limited. This is a 2-cord. Let me turn that fan off. It'll drive you nuts. Reflecting in my clip. This will stop in a minute, this reflective thing going on. It's a 2-cord linen thread, and so that's what I'm using. Okay? Sandy Jones, it's not you? It's not you, Sandy Jones? Guess I'm going to have to take you off the schedule then. So I measured 3 lengths, the length of the spine. And as I said, this is big, and so it's hard to get it on the screen to show you. So I've measured 3 times the length, 2, 3. I'm using a tapestry needle, which has a blunt point on it. I already have all the holes punched and everything. That is a whole process in and of itself, which we went through that process last week when I showed you how to do this, which is a 3-hole pamphlet stitch. So if the process is the same, it just has more holes. All right, so no knots, no knots. And let me get my stuff kind of rearranged here. I will do, as I said, I will do my best to show you how this is going to work. But, you know, honestly, I got no promises here. You didn't see the fan until I pointed it out. Well, at least now it's not going to drive you nuts in the reflection. I'm starting in the inside signature, and I'm going to start at the bottom hole. Okay, so I'm coming from the inside out, and then I'm going to go through. I have this plastic piece in here, and I have to make sure that I go through the next hole in the lineup. I'm going through the plastic piece, which is not traditional bookbinding at all. No way, no how. No way, no how is that anything traditional. I'm just doing it purely to support the cover. So I'm going to pull this thread until I have a tail. I'm going to leave a tail several inches long, and I'm going to stick it underneath this clip to hold it, like so. Okay? And also this clip is here to hold kind of hold the signature in. All right, all is right with the world at this point. This is the easy part right here. All right. So I'm going to flip the book, and then this extra needle that I have, I'm going to use it to help me find the hole on the outside. So I'm going to use this needle, and I'm going to come, although I've pre-punched all these holes, it's hard to find everything, so the hole is there. I'm just using that needle, I'm sticking it through so that I know where it is. Because now I got to flip the cover, and you see where this needle is coming out? That saves me from having to fish for it, if you understand what I mean. So I'm kind of wiggling that, and then I'm going to pull it through. And before anything moves, I'm going to stick my needle with thread in it back the other way. All right, so the needle is coming back through all that stuff. And now I'm going to stick it through the hole in the signature. So it's got to come through the signature back into the middle of the signature. Voila! Okay? All right. I'm not worrying about tightening. I told you my mouth wasn't working today, so yeah. Oh, thank you, Krissa. That's sweet of you. She loves all the cameras. Good. Okay, so I've come through to the inside of the signature, like so. I'm going to turn it again. I tell you, there's a whole lot of flipping going on here. I'm going to come back down through the next hole in the signature. So I'm in the middle. And I found it easiest when I was working on this morning, because I was kind of figuring this out as I went. I mean, I've done this particular pamphlet stitch before, but it's the figuring it out, how to work with this flippy thing that I added, and something this big was a bit of a challenge. So anyway, so coming through the signature, it's just easier, I found, if you do one step at a time. Like come through the signature, then go through the cover, then come back through the cover, then go through the signature, instead of trying to do it all in one go. All right, so next, through the next hole in the plastic that I added, down through the cover, flip, find the needle and pull it through. Okay, so I'm pulling it through. Now I got to do my little needle trick with my second needle again. So I'm coming to the next signature here. Everything on my desk is moving around now. So the next hole in the signature, or in the cover, sorry, in the cover. Okay, so once I found it, then I'm going to flip the cover over. All right, so I see it right here. I'm going to get my needle ready. All right, I got it all ready. I'm going to hold it. I'm going to wiggle that needle with my hand. Pull the needle out, and before it disappears, stick my needle with my thread back through the hole. I found that just helped to control a situation that's not a typical bookbinding kind of situation. Not that I'm a typical bookbinder, but you can sometimes have to utilize some tricks along the way. Then back through the signature and kind of snug things up a little bit. All right, so you see what you have so far. The thread is here, coming from the inside, goes to the outside, goes to the next hole up, move over, down, move over, up. Okay? Now I'm going to come through the last remaining hole, like so. And I'm going to go down through this plastic thing, through the cover hole, turn it a little bit so you can see it. So here it comes through the hole. Kind of tighten that up. Okay, so we have now some gaps. Let me show you this in the up close, in personal like. Okay, so do you see how there is a gap here? See, these have nice stitches all the way up on these other threads. These have stitches going all the way up. But on this row that I'm working on right now, there's a gap right there. And there's a gap up here. So we're getting ready to close those gaps. Okay? All right. Sorry, am I missing a question? Let me check the chat for a minute. Did I miss a question? Flippy thing is another technical thing, yes. Do you just have one paper as your signature or more? No, there's 3 pieces of paper in each signature. Okay, what else? Yeah, Sarah answered 3 folios in each signature. Yes. Okay, checking chat. Okay, what did Joe ask? This is a pamphlet stitch. Yes, this is a 5-hole pamphlet stitch. Okay, you guys have already taken care of it. Cool. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to close the gaps that we have left in this particular 5-hole pamphlet stitch. That's how it works. So now what you're going to do is you've got to come back to the hole right here, and the needle goes back through the exact same hole, back up through the middle of the signature. All right, so back it comes up through this cover and back. Oh, magic! I hit it the first time. That's when we say thank you. Okay, and I'm dragging stuff around on my desk again. All right, so it came back up through the same hole. It's a little easier now because it's kind of been controlled a little bit. Now I'm going to go down, see this gap here? I'm going to close that now by going through the next hole that already has been stitched through once. I'm coming all the way down through the very same hole. And you see it right there, there's the needle. Okay, so that now has filled this gap. All right, so that's all we're doing is filling the gaps with these extra stitches. So we have one more hole to go through, and that is the next to the top hole, which are called, I believe, Sarah can tell us, I think they're called stations in bookbinding, in real bookbinding language. Sarah O is quite an accomplished bookbinder. So if you guys want to see some good bookbinding, you need to follow her on Ustream. And I think she's Sarah's Creative Chaos, I believe, is her Ustream channel name. Okay, whoops, sorry, that was my mistake. There's no going back through any more stitches. You take the needle off, tighten everything, release the clip, tighten things up so you've got the threads, you've got all the little stitches tightened up now, okay? And then you tie these threads together, and this will close the last gap. And I just usually do a couple of knots, and I clip it to about 1/2 inch. Smash down the wax linen thread, and Bob's your uncle, we got another signature stitched in. It worked. That worked better than I thought it was going to work to show on camera. We only have 4 more. All right. So repetition is key to learning something like this. If you already know how to do it, you may want to either fast forward if you're watching the recording or tune into a different channel. Or if you're bored, talk amongst yourselves in the live chat. Okay. So 3 lengths of thread. Okay, 3 lengths of thread. Because if you want to incorporate the threads into things where you can leave attached dangles and stuff on the outside of your journal, that's a whole different process, and you'll start out with a lot more thread. Is this Sandy Jones' birthday journal? Well, Sandy Jones, I don't know. I didn't know it was your birthday. Hi, Marion. Hi, Jessica. Just saw some new names in the chat. All right. So I have my extra needle at the ready. Again, my helper needle. And I have my little binder clip. And I have my needle threaded. So we pick up the next signature. Make sure that the T, I know you probably can't see that, but there's a little faint T written there on the top. I'm going to line it up as best I can. Line it up. And I'm just going to clip it just to some of the previous signatures, just kind of help it. I'm clipping it right here so I can kind of keep it corralled. I can clip it at the top as well, but I didn't find it was that necessary, so anyway. Okay, here we go again. Sandy says, take your time, sweet. It's not till August. I got time to fill it up for you too, right, Sandy? What am I ignoring you about, Jess? I just saw that. What did you say? I missed it. I missed it. You're gonna have to put it in. I missed it, Jess. Sorry. Sorry, I have to keep a little wet throat going. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. Oh, and Joe, are you still streaming? I haven't seen you stream in forever. If I really want to, huh, Sandy? Okay, here we go again. See the chat? Because I said you'd make. Jess said I'm making you a journal, and you is swapping me cards. Is that right? I didn't know about that. Okay, here's what's happening. We start the bottom hole again. All right. So the thread comes from the inside to the outside. Leave a tail and clip it. I clip it under that clip. That'll control that so I don't yank it all the way through. Okay, then I find the next hole in my cover, and this plastic thing that I'm stitching through, I'm going to say this over and over, is not traditional. I'm doing this to support this floppy fabric that I got going on. Okay, so through the cover. All right, so we got that part done. Oop, do not let your thread come out of your binder clip. If you do, you will not be happy. All right, now remember the part. I got to start doing the flippy thing. Okay, I'm going to turn this. And my extra needle now is going to find the next hole for me, because I got to come from the outside to the inside. So although those holes are there, they don't want to stay there necessarily, because this fabric is not traditional either. All right, so I have my needle through the next hole. All right, so needle through the next hole, kind of wiggle it a little bit. Okay, so I'm kind of wiggling that needle through that hole so it opens that fabric up, and hopefully it's going to stay put for just long enough that I'm going to be able to stick the other needle back through the hole. So stick the needle with the thread back in, and it worked again, working like a charm. All right, so the needle comes back in, then it goes through the signature. And once you understand what I'm doing, it would be okay for you to go get some tea or coffee or whatever else you'd like to have. Okay, so we got that. So we're going to come to the next hole in the signature. So down through the signature, and then I kind of need to turn it so I can see the cover in the hole. Put the needle in through the cover so the needle comes out. Okay, we're going to come up through the next hole, but this is where I got to use my little helper needle. Okay, helper needle in place. So it's right here. Wiggle it to make sure it's got the fabric kind of opened up for me. Hold it, drop the needle, put the one with the thread through. Back through the signature. Tighten the stitch, and then we have one more hole to go through on this going up, because you have to go up and then down. So back through the signature, and then back through and then down through the cover hole. All right. Oh, you're not streaming. I gotcha. I understand. Believe me, I understand all about that subject, Joe. Okay, and now remember we have these gaps in the stitches. So there's a gap here, and there's a gap here. So we have to fill those gaps with thread. So I'm going to come back through this hole, which we've already stitched through, and hopefully it will go through where it's supposed to. Yes. Pamphlet stitching gods are working with us today, people. The pamphlet stitching gods are helping us here. Okay, so tighten that stitch up. Okay, tighten that. Making sure things are staying straight here. Back through the next one, which will fill that stitch. Okay. Okay, so it comes through here. We go up through the next one, which fills the next stitching gap. And sometimes it doesn't want to go quite as easily as it should. There we go. Back through the signature. Okay, come on. Sometimes you have to hold your mouth right. There we go. Back through the same hole. You want it to go through the same hole, not a different. Don't make a different one if you can help it. And then this is the bottom of the whole thing, the whole shebang. So take your threads loose, tighten them up, tie them off. Okay? This is honestly one of the hardest parts of the whole thing, because you got to figure out, if you had somebody here that could put their finger on this, it would make it nice. But I don't, so I make it as tight. You don't want to make it so tight that you rip the paper. That's what becomes problematic, is you can easily rip the holes in the paper. This is a pretty sturdy paper, but you can still rip it. So, and then I usually do one. So I've done 1, 2, 3 ties. Clip it like that. And then I just kind of smooth those down because it is wax linen, so it'll kind of stick and find its own spot. Okay, we only have 3 more, and we still have 3 holes in each one of those. That's a good thing, because it's really easy when you're doing this to get yourself off. When you've got the signatures close together, you've got the holes close together, it's really easy to get your to miss one of the holes. Then you got to take it out and start again. Sure, Jess, no problem. Put in your order. Does Michael's or Joann's carry Quilter's template plastic? They do. Yeah, they do. Any place that sells quilting supplies is going to carry it. I'm sure you can find it on Amazon too. So, easy. All right. So now I've measured out a new segment of thread. Are you guys bored yet? We're gonna decorate the cover here too, but I really, if you guys don't mind, I'm gonna stitch the rest of these signatures in. If you're not too bored. But first, a little drinky poo. I don't know, Jess. Jess, I'll tell you what, I'll send you that ugly woman. If I can smuggle her out of here without Clausman getting upset. Okay, one more signature. It has the T at the top. T at the top right here, so I know where that's lined up. All right. All right, I'm kind of lining things up here. Putting on my clip. Let's see if I can get a few more signatures, just to kind of keep it a little more stable. So, putting on the clip. See, if I had a story to tell you, this is a good time to tell you a story. But instead, I'm keeping myself straight. Okay, from the inside to the outside, and clip your thread so that it holds on to it. Because it's really easy to pull that thread through. Got you, Di, I understand. Okay, so from that bottom hole, the thread has come out through the bottom hole of the signature. Now we're going to go down through the cover. Okay. Finding the hole that I punched earlier. Hello, where are you? There you are. Okay. So down we go. Then we have to do our 2 needle trick. Okay. The 2 needle trick. So the extra needle I'm using to find the hole. Okay, there it is. Do the flippy thing. I'm just turning the book back and forth because it just makes it so much easier for me. I don't know about you guys, but it makes it easier for me. Okay, wiggle the needle. So I got that hole opened up. Pull it out. Go back in with the needle with the thread. Don't lose the hole. I lost the hole. Oh, seriously? All right, if you lose the hole, you got to do it again. Okay, try again. Okay. All right, try it again. Wiggle it a little bit more. Don't breathe, anybody. Don't breathe. Thank you. You helped, and that was good. You did what I asked you to do. Nobody breathed. Okay. So, came up through the cover. Now we got to go up through the signature. And as I can tell that as I'm getting to these end signatures, this plastic thing that I added here is becoming tighter and tighter. So it's going to fight me a little bit. So if I say any bad words, I'm sorry. Yeah. If I say any bad words, I apologize. Okay. So into the next hole. Down through the cover. Now to do my little needle trick, my little magic needle trick. Okay, so I got the needle under there. Okay, get my other needle ready to go. Okay, keep your fingers crossed again. I need your help. Don't breathe. Nobody breathe. Oh, thank you. It worked again. You guys are helpful. You guys are helpful, I'm telling you. Back through the signature. It does take patience to make your own books, I tell you. But the advantage is you get to choose the paper that you want. You get to choose the cover you want. You know, there is something deeply satisfying, I think. I mean, I won't lie, it's frustrating sometimes, but it's also deeply satisfying to make your own book and then be able to do it the way you want to do it. You know what I mean? All right, back through the cover. All right, so we have made it down one more row of stitches. Now we got to fill the gaps. Exhale. Yes. Jess is never helpful. And Sarah says the bad words are a necessary part of bookbinding. I know. It's unfortunately true. All right, so now we're going to fill the gaps, fill the holes. So we got, whoops, sorry, my computer went to sleep a minute. Hang on a minute. That was no fault of anyone's. That was my computer going to sleep for a minute. It got tired. It got bored. It got bored with me. Okay, back through the holes. Okay, come on. Go back where you're supposed to go. There we go. So, back through the hole. So, this is back through hole number 4. So, if we call these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've gone through 5. Now we came back up through 4. We're going to go down through number 3. Okay, cooperate with me here. And I have to tell you, sometimes I do it and I go, yep, that's close enough. Okay. Back up through number 2. Hello. Come on. Oh, I'm so glad I only have to do this 2 more times. The hole is right there. Yes. Once you find it, it's easy peasy. Okay, take the needle off the thread, turn her around, and tighten everything up a little bit. So snug it up, tie the knot, and we got another signature in. Yes, the wax linen comes in a huge variety of colors. I have several colors and always looking to add more. I have some that are 2-cord and some that are 3-cord. I personally prefer the 2-cord linen thread. I prefer the weight of it. The 3-cord is heavier. You know, everybody develops a preference, but I do love having it in colors. I have it in a couple shades of blue, a kind of an earthy ochre color. What else? Purple, and a kind of a mulberry color. So, yeah. Pavla says, surprisingly, her first Coptic book ended really well. Good, that's great. Okay, 1, 2. We only have 2 more signatures. Can we do it just 2 more times, people? Can we do it just 2 more times? Sarah likes the 4-chord for Coptic. Ah, okay. I've never worked with the 4-chord. That must be quite considerably heavier, right? Lynn's first try at bookbinding was the Coptic stitch. Die hard, Lynn. Die hard. That's what I have to say about that. I've done Coptic stitch, and every time I do it, I have to review it. I really love it, though. I love the effect. Okay, one more signature in here. This is the next to the last one. So I'm just lining things up best I can. Clip it together. Okay, here we go again. Jess says no, she can't stand it. She can't stand 2 more times. Jess, you've been outvoted. You've been outvoted. All right, here we go. All I need you to do is cooperate with me just a little bit longer here. Yes. Okay, needle trick time. I have to say, this needle trick is working pretty well. Well, I say that as I start having trouble. Don't get sassy, Barb. Don't get sassy. Your art supplies have a way of revolting, you know. Okay. All right. Wiggle it. So I'm wiggling the needle to see if I can get that to hold still. All right. Back through the hole. Oh, it worked again. You guys are good. Back through the signature. Let's see if we hit the middle. We did. Yay! But for a case-bound book, a thinner cord is better. I don't know if I've done a case-bound book. Case-bound, is case-bound the one that has the hardcover? I've done one hardcover. I'll get it and show you. I may have to take a break after all this. I hit the hole. Yay! Okay. All right. Now we got to go back and find the hole. We only have to find the hole on one more signature after this one. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. Hardcover, yeah. I'll show you the one hardcover book I made. I'll show it to you in a minute. I gotta stay with this. See, here's what happens to me. I get almost done with something and I see the end is in sight, and I will stop the project because I know how it's going to end. It's like, oh, I got that figured out, and then I'll stop. So, and once I stop, it's really hard for me to go back and finish it. So it's like, I gotta stick with it and get this done. We're so close. We're so close. We can't stop. We can't stop now. All right, back through the signature one more time. Come on, needle, work with me. Can I make it look any more awkward, really? Yes, bookbinding is very easy. It's very simple. Not a problem. Really, it's really easy. Okay. So back now to fill the holes that we've left from the first stitching. All right. So we're going back through hole number 4. Right here. Okay. Everybody. All right. So far, so good. Yes. Thank you for your help, everyone. I can feel everybody around the world going one long indrawn breath. I appreciate you wishing me success. This is where you wish you could speed it up. If you're watching a recording, you can do that, by the way. But you can't do it in real life. Real life, it doesn't work that way. Real life, you have to go you just have to take a break yourself. Okay, got it. Whew, only one more signature. Okay, and so now we're going to tie this off, and then we only have to do one more. Only one more. Aren't you happy? I am. I am. Although I have to say, as I said earlier, I do find this process fun to do for me, satisfying when I get done and I've got my own book created with the paper that I want it created with. It took me 2 tries to get the cover the right size. That was kind of pathetic at 1 o'clock this morning. Okay, so we only have one more. And look at this. It's got color. Okay, which color do I want on the outside? I'm going to do this one. I don't want the other one's too matchy-matchy. Okay, so make sure I got the T at the top. Yes. You can spell it out, Jess, but I don't think you can put links in because I think I'm the only person that can put in links. I don't think there's any way to approve, to open links is what I'm trying to say. But feel free to spell it out or whatever you want to do. That is fine. Yeah, Jess C on here makes the most incredibly beautiful cards. If I don't shout out some of you guys that do stuff, it's only because I forget. It doesn't draw my attention. I just happen to think of that. So yeah, Jess does beautiful cards. So if you want some absolutely stunning cards, she is handmade cards. You need to check her out. Okay, so we have come. And Jess's Etsy is Paper Studio by Jess C. PaperStudioByJessC. Jess, if you will send that to me on Twitter, if you'll DM me on Twitter or whatever you want to do, then I'll put that in the links for this video. Hi, Sue. Okay. Welcome, welcome. We're stitching a book together, and this is the last signature. Thank you. I'm grateful. Okay. Let's hope it all goes smoothly here. You only have to hold your breath. Just one more signature, people. Okay, gotta find the last hole here. There it is. Okay. Wiggle. You don't have to do this if you're using, you don't have to do this trick with the needle if you're using fabric or some other method that you can see the holes in easily. But yeah, there's a reason I have to do it this way. And I lost the hole again. I lost it. I lost it, as my son used to say. And my plastic is, oops, the needle's getting hung up now. My plastic is really stiff here because I'm at this little bitty flange. We'll see how this plastic thing ends up working out. I may really be mad at myself for putting that plastic bit in there. Okay, wiggle it. Don't lose sight of the hole. I see it. Got it. Nailed it. Okay, back through the signature. Got it. Whew, let me tell you. Yeah. Okay, you can tell this is paper I made myself because it's very messy on the backside. That's Muppet, by the way. She is shaking her collar. She's got to get all her hair rearranged. In case any of you are new, Muppet is a mixed breed rescue dog who is, she's been here for several years now and doing quite well. She still has her little quirky things, like she hates the UPS man or woman. If you're dressed in brown, if you're dressed in all brown and you drive a vehicle that sounds like a UPS truck, she is going to hate your guts. We're done with that needle. I can put it away in my tapestry needle box so I don't lose it. Okay. Back through the signature. Are you guys having fun yet? That's what I want to know. Are you having fun? Are you having fun watching me struggle with this silly book? Whew, we made it all the way to the end. I only have to go back the other way one more time and then we're done. Whew, me, oh my. Sandy Jones' dogs hates anyone dressed in green. Isn't that funny? And Jesse's cat hates everybody but her. I have to get permission from Clausman. You know that, Jess. It's his girlfriend. Poor old ugly thing. Doesn't say much for me, does it? Okay. Doesn't say much for me. If he likes things like that, yeah. I have to show you. I don't know if I can put my hand on him. He carved some cool things the other day. I'll show them to you here in a minute. When I take a breath from this, because we're almost done. I got one more hole to go through. All right, everybody hold your mouth right. Hold your mouth right. Don't breathe. We made it. Whew! We made it, people. We made it. Thank you for your help. Bye, CB. Watching somebody struggle, you mean, right? We can all take a breath now. Okay, we only have one more knot to do. Okay, everybody snug in here where you're supposed to go. Okay, let me just check the stitches here. Okay, seems like we're in pretty good shape here. Just checking the threads. All right, I think we're good. All right, one more knot. One more knot. You guys have been doing great. Don't let me down now. Bye, Dee Dee. It is pretty and it is fluffy. It is fluffy. Come on. My hands are all waxy now from handling the wax linen. Do I teach? Are you asking me, Jessica, if I teach in Wisconsin? At this point, not. I'm just online at the moment. I make the knot tying look easy. That's pretty good. That's a good trick. Okay, now let's take a look at it, shall we? All right. Here is the spine. Muppet wants to go outside and get upset with the dog in the backyard. All right, there's the spine. It has 1, 2, 3, 4 stitches in the spine. It's nice and fluffy. It measures a little over 2 inches in thickness. Okay. There's what it looks like from the, from the end. I don't teach in Wisconsin yet, but if somebody wanted to arrange a class, I will come and teach. Absolutely. So there is the other side, and there's the other end. And then when we release the cord, here's the cord. So if we take that loose, then that will wrap around the journal like so. So it will act as the closure, and I made it nice and long so that as it grows, it should still have plenty of room to close. And then I just loop this through and tie it. Okay. That was work, people. That was work. We're going to play with it a little bit more. But first, I'm going to go get the journal and show Sarah. I don't know if Sarah's still here, but I'm going to show it to you guys. So I'll be right back. Okay. Sarah's here. Okay. So here is the one hardback case-bound book that I've made. This is the sum total of this that I have done. It was really fun. I took a class, really enjoyed it. I'll show it to you in the other camera. So it has an interesting cover. It's like an embossed paper, which is pretty cool. Exactly, Ruth. And it has book cloth on the spine. Hi, Trina. And the paper is, I think it's watercolor paper, but I'm not sure. All the pieces and parts were cut or torn or whatever when they were given to us in the class. And then it has that little, whatever this thing's called, I forgot what this is called in here, that little ribbon thing. I don't know the technical term, but anyway, that thing, so that it's loose from the spine. It's not connected to the spine. Anyway, I've never done anything with it. I even have the stuff to make another one, but I've never done another one. But it's really, I mean, the way the teacher had everything sized perfectly, so everything worked out exactly the way it was supposed to. It was great. Anyway, that's my one and only hardbound book. Okay, so here's Jess's favorite thing that she wants me to paint, which is never going to get painted. This is the ugly woman we're talking about. Yeah, her boobs hang out. He carved it so that her boobs are exposed. That is one of the of course, they're really long, but they're exposed, so there's no way I can paint that. No, I can't paint that. Not on a stream. Ugly. Poor old ugly thing. Look at that. Oh my gosh, she gives me nightmares. Anyway, then he carved this couple, I guess it was last week or so. So this was one piece that he did. And he did this one. Sandy Jones says her boobs do that. She looks like a troll, yeah. At the very least. So, and then he carved this fish. I love the fish. Absolutely love the fish. I like the eagle too, but I absolutely love the fish. Yeah. So, do you know what these are carved out of? Anybody want to guess? Trying to put it where you can see them both. Any ideas? Have Claus Man give her plastic surgery. Yeah. That'd be good. Yeah, it is soap. Sarah wins. You guys all win. Listen to you. Can't fool you guys for nothing. Can't fool you for a minute. All right, let me put these away. And I'll be right back again. We certainly don't want to have anything happen to the ugly woman now, do we? Oh, that is awful. Soap. That's real soap. It's not soapstone, it's real soap. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to work on the cover of this book. I want to embellish the cover a little bit. So, I have my trusty, see if I can get my camera so that you don't have to look at my monitor. Well, you're going to get to see the monitor no matter what, so you just have to pretend like you don't see it. My trusty big kick here. Painting couldn't hurt. I don't know. I don't know. Okay, here's what I'm going to use. This Tim Holtz Alterations die and embossing folder. And I have another thing here somewhere. What did I do with it? There it is. Okay. This cover has it has blues in it. Okay, it has blues and various shades, various flowers in blue here and there. So I decided, since I still have a ton of blue jeans left, I'm going to make some butterflies like this. Not this color, but butterflies like that out of blue jeans. So that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to stick some denim. These are old blue jean legs and parts of blue jeans. I'm going to cut out some butterflies. A headband. That's right. That is what it is, right? The headband. Thank you, Ruth. That part of the book. Okay. So we got one butterfly. I'm going to cut out 3 and we'll see what we think. All right. And this is a different fabric. This has some, it's denim, but it has some spandex or something in it, so it didn't cut quite as cleanly as the cotton denim did. So I'm going to have to do some snipping here and there to get rid of some of the, to get it completely cut out. I probably should have run it backwards through the die cutting machine, but I didn't. That bookbinding class that I took to make the hardbound book, I took with my granddaughter a couple years ago. And we had, actually, Clausman gave it to us, gave us the class for Christmas that year. It's been at least 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago. That was so much fun. We had a great time together. I miss her. Miss her. Google knows everything for sure. Okay, so we have those. I'm going to throw those out before I am tempted to keep those scraps 1 minute longer. And then I have these little movers and shapers butterflies. Okay, so I'm going to cut out a few of those just because I might want to use them. I don't know. We might want to, right? So I'm going to put some, do them this way. I don't need to conserve. I keep telling myself I don't have to conserve the denim. And then I carefully arrange it. So these are also Tim Holtz movers and shapers. I mean, they're his dies, his whatever. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Anyway, so I'm cutting some little denim butterflies. And I'm going to cut a few more. And I'm just cutting some from each fabric, each color of denim that I have, just so that I have some choices, because I like choices, right? It's always good to have choices. And this is that same fabric that doesn't want to cut cleanly. Well, at least we know it's not the dye. It is the fabric. The fabric, as my son used to call it when he was little. Fabric with a V as in Victor. Is Victor still here, or did he take off? Barb, if you place those at the edge of the machine, they will cut better. What do you mean the edge of the machine? I have them over at the side like that. What is over at the edge of the machine? What does that mean? More information. Okay, and I'm going to cut just one more set of these. Yes, like that. Yeah, that's where I had them, and they still didn't cut very cleanly. It's the fabric. It's that fabric. But thanks, that's a good idea. I mean, it's good information. Not that it's a good idea, it's good information. Okay, now I didn't bring my big thing over here. I gotta go get it. My big thing. My multi-purpose platform. Alright, I always have to remember which way this goes. Then I have to try it and see if it works. I think it's this one. I think it's this one, right? Maybe it's this one. We'll find out. Okay, so this particular die comes with an embossing folder, okay? So, and I also can't ever remember which way is the right way up. So, it doesn't really make a lot of difference to me. So I'm going to stick it in here like this. I'm going to spritz it with some water because I think that should help emboss it a little bit more. Sandwich it. Let's see. Doesn't really matter on this because I'm not cutting. Let's see if we got the right sandwich. Because if you do, it works, and if you don't, it doesn't. Yeah, it worked okay. So what you end up with then is the embossing texture on the denim. Okay? Ruth's grandson used to say spider web. Yeah. All right, let's see if this one that has spandex in it, see if that will emboss. I have no idea if it will. I'll spritz it with a little bit of water. See if that helps. Close it up. The body wants to kind of twist around on me. Hi, Meg. Meg says you can ink the folder for a stamped effect. Yeah, that's a great idea. Yeah, that one didn't do so well. Let's go through it a couple more times. The spandex, I wondered what the spandex would do. So let's I'm going to give it a wee bit more pressure just to see if that will. I may or may not get it to go through. We're going to find out. It's a little better. Once I ink it, it will show a little bit better. There's a lot of texture in the denim, so yeah. Okay, and then we got one more. One more. The embossing will not stay. I'm going to use some ink on it to catch the embossing, but no, it won't stay. But the pattern will make it stay. I mean, the ink will make it stay. It'll make the, yeah, let me say that again. The ink will make the, it will capture the design, so you'll get to see that. So one demo, they put foil on the back of the fabric. Foil on the back of the fabric. Hi Ella, I didn't use any foil, and I don't know how you'd put foil on the back of the fabric. It must use some adhesive or something. Okay, so here's this one. Like so. Sorry, trying to get my camera to focus for you. Well, it doesn't want to focus on this one. Okay, so now I want to put some texture on these little guys, but I forgot to get another embossing folder, so give me just a second and let me hunt for an embossing folder. Misty Fuse. Yep, Misty Fuse will probably do the trick. All right, I'll be right back again. I don't have a lot of dies and embossing folders, and I should have just, never mind. I don't have a lot of dies and embossing folders. I have a few, and this one might work fine. We'll just use this one. That was easy. The first one I picked up. It's like, yeah, we'll do that one. Why not? Okay, so I'm going to use this. It's actually pine cones. So I'm going to put these in here because all I'm after is to capture some texture to make these a little bit more interesting. This may or may not work, but you know, seems like it ought to. Seems like it should, don't you think? Let's find out. Spray starch, yeah, spray starch could help too. All kinds of ideas, right? You guys have good ideas. Hey, Carol. All right, let's see what they look like, shall we? Yeah, it got some texture on them. I don't know that you're going to be able to see them till I get the ink on them. You might be able to see a little bit out of that. Anyway, they're textured a little bit. All right, those are pointless to texture because we already found that out. So we'll do these. Just reload, Ruth. If it's getting out of sync for you, just reload the window or reload your browser window because that happens sometimes. And that should straighten out for you. Okay, so we have those. And then I'm going to leave the embossing folder open. What did I do with the other one? Here it is. Leave them open so that they can dry. I don't want to put those away wet. I need to let those dry out so that the moisture goes away. Okay. So I'm just going to roll this back under my big kick and move it out of the way. Okay, so we got that. So we'll move all these over here. And I'm going to get some ink pads. And we'll play with some ink colors and see what we can come up with. I don't think, yeah, We'll just try some different colors here. Pardon me while I dig through my ink pads and look at my looking at the cover just to get some idea. It could be a very colorful little cover. Okay, so I have this one, and well, let's take this one because this is my least favorite. So let's use it to start with and see if we can capture anything on it. It's very dark denim, so I don't know. Not really. Okay, this one is not one that we would call terribly successful. Okay, but that's okay. That's okay. Sometimes you gotta try. All right, let's try this one. We'll try this. That's successful. That one worked, don't you think? So that one worked fine. What do you have to keep saying? Oh, Xander said, I do not need to get another machine. Okay, this one, I don't know if this will work. Let's try this. This one was cobalt blue. This was cobalt archival ink. This one is aquamarine. I don't know if this will work or not. We may have to go to black. No, not so much. Okay, let's try maybe some dark green. Secret is you got to get contrast. But what this will do by having the ink on it is now when the embossing disappears, you'll still be able to see it. Okay, so let's play with these little gems. Which side do I want to do? We'll do this side. Okay, let's try this color. Not bad. And let's do another one of those. Did I miss this one? I missed that one. Okay, that worked. All right. So I missed that one. Let's see what this color looks like on here. Well, that looks like puke. That didn't work at all. Orange Blossom did not work. Just saying. And I don't know about that one, but, you know. Ick to the Orange Blossom. Okay. Sarah, here's what you say. I don't have one yet. That's what you say. I don't have one yet. Because I said that too for quite a long time. And I don't use mine all the time, but there are times when I use it and really, really enjoy it. Okay. The red was kind of nice, so we'll do another red one. Okay. And I got two more. But the contrast is the secret to get stuff to show up. You got to get the ink that is going to contrast with it. Yeah, Sandy remembers me saying that. I don't have an embossing machine, a cutting machine. I'm not going to get one. Well, you can see how long I held out. I held out for a long time, actually. All right, we'll try sienna. I just don't like the brown. I don't know. That orange is kind of brown. That sienna is kind of brown. So we'll flop a little green on it, just to bring out some texture in it. Okay, so we got that. This one didn't work much at all. I wonder if I can put anything else on this. Let's try some black. Just see. All I want to do is just bring out some of the texture in it. I don't care if it's subtle. I just want some color. Contrast, you know what I mean? All right, well that's better. You probably can't see it, but it's better. Okay, let me put the inks away, and then I'll show them to you. See what you guys think. Because if I don't put stuff away, I don't know about you guys, but if I don't put stuff back, it gets out of control quick around here. Okay, so let's take a look at these so you can see what they look like up close. Okay, here's the one that I didn't like very well, but you know, it's worked more or less. You can see the contrast in it. Okay, there's another one. Okay, so the different colors of denim and the different colors of ink do some cool stuff. This was the one I had earlier, which actually is just so garish, it's just awful, but we can rub, I don't know. That one's been done for months, so I don't know if I can capture the embossing with the ink again. Okay, here's some of the little butterflies. That were embossed using the pine cone embossing folder, just to give them a little something. Look, it's a flock of butterflies that landed on my hand. Look, it's a whole flock of butterflies. Okay, I'll stop now. All right, so that's that. What time of day is it? 3 o'clock. Okay. All right, so meanwhile, back at our cover on our journal, my thought was to put butterflies on it. So let's take a look at them, shall we? Thinking in terms of some butterflies, some flutterbies. It's so hard to get this on here because it's so big. So what I'm going to do on the, like these pieces, is I'm going to cut off, you know, the tips of the wings, because I'm going to keep it all within the journal. And then I have some of these little ones that I'm okay with the fact that they might just kind of blend in here and there. Butterflies are very meaningful to me. I don't know that I like you. I think they're significant for lots of people. Just looking in the monitor because it helps to have them in the monitor. Yeah, I think I'm going to veto the other big one. Might put that big one on the back. That's what I might do. Okay, good enough. My policy is it's only a journal. It's only a fabric journal. It doesn't matter. I don't have to love it for the rest of my life. It's fine because it's going to be a junk journal anyway. Okay. So a wee bit of tacky glue to the rescue. So has anybody got any questions about anything while I'm butterflying my cover? This whole thing is comprised. The only thing I bought was the paper. I did buy the pad of paper to make the signatures out of, other than the two pieces that are already decorated in there. Those were ones I already had done. Those are paste paper pieces. But this curtain fabric or upholstery fabric or whatever it is that the cover is made out of, that was stuff I had in my stash of stuff. And the yarn is stuff that I had in my doll making stuff. And the denim, as we all know, because of my projects from the last couple of weeks, is stuff that was, I'm just smearing glue around on here. Sorry, I wasn't even showing you. From jeans that were, I have a big stack of jeans that I just keep for projects like this. Question asked if you could use white, silver ink on the ones that didn't show up well. I don't know. White or silver? I really don't know. I don't think I have either one of those. I have some silver. I just saw. Maybe we'll try that on the one that I don't care for so much. And let's see. I don't know if it's got any ink in it. That's the other thing. I'm not very good at keeping my ink pads well supplied with ink, if you know what I mean. I do like the butterflies on it. I mean, it's very busy, but I like that. I like it. Yeah, the story of the butterflies is when my mother passed away, I was part of an online caregiver group, which was very, very supportive. And they were my lifeline. It was a mailing list. At that point in time, Facebook didn't exist. There was no other way to communicate with people. I was so grateful for that mailing list because they really helped. They were truly a lifeline. And when my mom passed away, one of the people in the group always said that she always sent butterflies to people. That was her That was her thing that she always said to people. Okay, let me cut this off before I get myself in trouble here and get all gluey and stuff. And so she immediately responded with, when I had told them that my mom had passed away, she said, oh, sending you butterflies and rainbows or something like that. So anyway, we went that evening or whenever it was, we went to this place out by the river. It's a winery, and it's overlooks the river, and it's just beautiful. And it's a place that I like to go for. It's one of those places. We all have those places that you find meaningful, and there's something about being close to the water that's really healing for me and good for me and so forth. Anyway, we walked out, we were there, and you have to walk down this big hill. So the deal is, if people drink too much and can't walk back up the hill, yeah, they're in big trouble. Anyway, so that's another story. So we went, although people watching out there is pretty interesting, I have to admit. So we walked down, just as we were going down the hill, toward there's a big A-frame there. Well, it's not big, it's a kind of a small A-frame, where you can buy wine or you can buy sparkling grape juice or whatever. And just as we were getting to the place, we were just about to the A-frame, I was engulfed with this flock of butterflies. It's never happened. It never happened before, and it's never happened to me again. And it was, my husband and I were both just stunned. And I looked at him and I said, "Oh," he's like, "Where in the world did those come from?" I said, "Those are Gigi's butterflies. She sent those butterflies to me." So I had to come home that night and send her a note and say, I got him. It was incredibly touching, moving experience for me to have the butterflies literally engulfed me. It was just like a tornado of butterflies. It was so amazing. So yeah, it was pretty cool. Okay, so there's that one. We only have one more to do. Hi, Margaret. Yeah, it was really something. It was really something. I've never had anything like that happen before or since. Okay, we may play with that one a minute. Okay, let me put some glue on this. I'm going to let this one go over the edge. This butterfly is going to go over the edge, and he's going to glue on top of some of the signatures. So we'll see how that works out, because I don't know, it might not work at all. But hey, you never know. You don't know till you try it, right? So I'm just spreading the glue out here put it on the table so I could spread it a little bit better. It was quite an experience. And for the longest time, the butterfly story, I couldn't talk about it, not because it was, well, I could talk about it, but I couldn't get clear to the end of the story. Because of the emotions were still so fresh. So I appreciate the fact that over time that gets, where it's not so, doesn't carry quite the punch it used to. Okay, so let's put this butterfly like so. This could work perfectly or not, if you know what I mean. Will I be sewing this one? Sewing where? Sewing on, I'm not going to do, the sewing I've done is all done. Yeah, understood, Carol. Thank you for understanding that. Okay, so let's get out the, actually, instead of using ink, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some paint. Ooh, some acrylic paint, some metallic paint. That could be pretty. I'm rolling the glue off my fingers at the moment, which is the nice thing about Aleene's Tacky Glue. It will roll off your fingers. Okay, time for another little sip. My voice has held out pretty well today. What color do I want to use on this? Well, my go-to color tends to be gold. What color is this? Emperor's Gold. That's one of my favorite golds. Yeah, this one I'm not going to do any stitching because it's already put together. That's why I'm not doing anything else to it. Because I've already got the signature sewn in and all that. It would be pretty tough to try and sew it now. Yeah. But I do love doing free motion stitching, I have to say. Okay, let's take this little puppy over here. It's not glued on, so let's do some experimenting, and we might do some experimenting with this one too. So I'm going to stick out a little bit of this, which is Emperor's Gold. It's Dazzling Metallics Emperor's Gold by Deco Art. Okay, let's see what happens. You're getting to see me experiment more today than I normally do. Normally I know what I'm doing when I come on, but you're getting to watch me experiment a little bit more today. So what it's doing is absorbing into the denim very quickly. So I'm going to say that what you need to do with this, and we'll try it on the other one, I'm going to say what you have to do is you have to put some gesso on it first, because it just kind of goes kind of bleh. Okay, so let's do that. You're a newbie, Jessica? That's okay. Ask any question you want to ask. Well, within reason. Within reason. All right, I'm teasing you. So this is some gesso. So let's see what happens. We'll just put it on part of this butterfly because I don't care for this one anyway, so. Kind of losing the definition of it. But here's what happens to me. I don't know if this happens to you guys or not, but here's what happens to me. I'll start monkeying around with something that I don't like, and then it ends up to be my favorite thing. Does that ever happen to you guys? It's like, I don't like it. Then I just put it, pedal to the metal and just start messing around with it and see what happens. And then I go, oh yeah, but I really love that, All right, well, I like that side better than I thought I was going to, so let's put some on this side. And then I get absorbed in what I'm doing and I forget to talk. That's the other thing that happens. Yeah, I start going, my brain starts thinking, well, if this works, well, I wonder about that. Well, what could I do with that thing, you know? Okay, kind of like that. All right, I'm going to clean the gesso off this mat because if I don't, it's going to stick. Which is super annoying with this particular mat, I have to say. I bought this because it was nice and big, and this is my least favorite mat I have ever used. It's not my favorite. Has anybody here tried the Ken Oliver craft mat? If you have, I'd love to know what your impression of it is. Ruth, I saw that. Ask her to paint the ugly woman. I saw that. I get enough trouble out of Jess C. Sandra hasn't tried it. Have you heard anybody talk about it, Sandra? I've forgotten who it was. I saw review it or something online, and they said they just loved it because it was even washable. Like you could even put it in the washing machine. I'm like, really? A craft mat you could put in the washing machine? Seemed like it was white. But I don't know. I could be wrong. I've looked at it and thought several times about trying it because I so dislike this one. But, you know, one of the things I'm not crazy about this one is the color. Since Carol says she keeps a big glass cutting board down mostly. Yeah, I can't do that with the reflection from the lights. Otherwise I would. But, whoops, there goes my computer was tired again. So everybody just, computer got tired. When it gets tired, it just decides to go take a nap for a second. So, no worries. The Ken Oliver craft mat is the one I'm talking about. Okay, so now I could totally screw this up at this point. So don't anybody panic if I do. Well, it doesn't matter, it's not on anything. So I'm going back to my gold paint. I don't think you guys can see this. But it is showing up better with having the gesso under it first. So that tells me that if I want to use other metallics, they have a shot of showing up because of the gesso. Okay, that's good information. Okay, let's move to a different one, a different color. This would be known as a rabbit trail. Ruth has a gray one. She loves it. Beads won't roll off it, and it cleans up really great, but the box is long gone. Okay. Yeah, the gray ones that I heard about it Tuesday morning, I went to see if I could get one and they didn't have any, so yeah. Okay, this color is Folk Art Aquamarine. So I'm going to shoot this with some heat. This butterfly needs to have a haircut there. Okay, and let's use a little bit of this and see what it does. Okay, we're going to put some of this on the upper wings. Then I'm going to put something else on the lower wings. That looks kind of cool. Can you see it? I don't know if you can see that or not. I'll show it to you up close in a minute. As soon as I get done playing with this on this rabbit trail that we're on. Okay, we got that rabbit trail. Let's do another color at the bottom. Let's see, what color shall we use? What color is this? Oh no, I don't want to do that. This color is bright red, which isn't bright red. Hi Sandy, good to see you, my friend. Okay, so this color is bright red, which it is not bright red in my opinion. I think it's a terrible bright red. If I wasn't lazy, I would walk over to the cabinet where I have my, yes, the Jacquard Lumiere paints, but that's kind of cool. That might blend with this. We'll probably work on this journal next week because I have a whole pile of stuff to put in it. So we'll probably work on this unless something else catches my fancy, and then we'll digress over into that. Muppet is barking. Muppet's had a hard day today for some reason. She had a hard day all day today. Life was not kind to her today. Okay, there's that one that I didn't like at all, and now I like it quite a lot. Bye, Julie. So I like it quite a lot now. Okay, like I said, you know, sometimes the one that I like the least is the one that turns out to be my favorite. So I'm just seeing what might happen here. Might just put it on the back. I got enough going on here without that. I may put it on the back. Just put it on the back. So I'm just finger painting some of these metallic paints here and there just to see what they'll do. It's a junk journal. See, there she goes again. She has had a hard day today. Are you just having a hard day? What's the matter with you? What's the matter? That little dog out in the backyard? There's a dog in our backyard that she would like to eat. It's not in our backyard, it's the backyard neighbors. No, Muppet doesn't eat such things. She's a lot smarter than someone else, who shall remain nameless. She is considerably smarter. Alright, I'm going to stop playing with this because if I don't, I'll just keep messing with it, and then I'll either like it or hate it. One or the other. Okay, let me get rid of this paint before I put my journal right in it. That would be bad. Don't want that to happen. Okay, so does anybody have any questions about what we did here today? Carol said that she used distress paint on handmade lace and loved how it worked out. That's a great idea. What a fun idea is that, to use distress paint on lace. That's a good one. All right. So anyway, we played. We made a journal. It's a Mamba Jamba big honkin' journal. Let me put the cord around it, and I'll hold it up so you can see it from a distance. Okay, so from a distance, that's what it looks like. Okay? So there's the, and it's still kind of floppy because it's, you know, it's fabric. It's a fabric cover. So there it is from that side. I'm thinking that I might put this one butterfly back here somewhere. You know, have it kind of blend in. Maybe have it come around the spine a little bit so that there's this part of this one here and that one down there. Might do that. Kind of like that idea. I don't know. Anyway. Okay, so there are the signatures. It's a big old Mamba Jamba journal, and we'll just see what happens with it. I don't know. Well, I do know what the plan is for it, but, you know. All right. Well, it would appear that our internet connection lasted us quite well all day long. Don't think we had any big issues. Thanks, everybody. It is big. It's big. It measures 12 inches tall by, it's 2 inches, over 2 inches in the spine. It's 12 inches tall by 9 inches wide. Paper inside is 8.5 by 11 in just a single, hey Sandy, just the single, you know, part of the folio is 8.5 by 11. Each page is 8.5 by 11. All right. Well, thanks everybody for coming and being with me today. And I will see you guys next week. We'll probably work in this journal next week because I have this whole pile of stuff. I don't know if you can see it. I didn't know how far we'd get today. Oh, I need to get the sponsors out, don't I? Of course. What am I thinking? See this pile of stuff? See that big pile of stuff right there? Right there. All that? That's stuff to use in this journal. Yeah, that's stuff to use inside this journal. All right, let me move stuff out of the way and I'll get the sponsors because, my goodness, we don't want to forget about them. They get all incensed if I forget about them. And if anybody's... Diane! Oh my goodness! Hello! Diane! So good to see you. How are you, my friend? I'm so glad you said hello. It's so good to see your name in the chat. That's wonderful. Been thinking about you. All right, let me get the sponsors out. If they'll come out today. Are you coming out? Come on. Come on. Hey, Phoebe. Good to see you. Well, we got all kinds of good people showing up here. Everybody, it's so nice to have you here. Come here. No, go away. You go away. Now that got the sponsor all upset. Nice job, Muff. You upset the sponsor. Here. Go away. Go. Come on. All right, here is one of them. Well, we're glad you got here too, Miss Allie. Miss Allie K and Aunt Beck. Chance is all wigged out because Muppet started whining and barking. So we'll just have to let you close out the show, huh? And why is he a sponsor, you ask? Because they let me do the show, right? Because they let me stream. Oh, here comes. Yeah, he didn't want to be outdone. Oh, wow. These boys weren't so big. Lie down. Say, he's still wiggy about Muppet. He's not sure. Muppet, go. Yeah, he's still looking. He's looking like, ooh, what's that going on? Okay, you need to lie down. Oh, he wants to hog all the camera time, don't ya? Yeah. Okay, with that, we're going to say goodbye. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you next week. Same time, same place. And thanks for being here, everybody. Hope you have a wonderful weekend and hope it's drama-free. So I will see you next time.